Welcome to the Fastbreak Kids, ladies and gentlemen. I am Wiley here by myself. It's a little bit strange looking at the couch, kind of empty, because typically we've got like 4 people on the couch. But for this video, it's just me. I'm giving you my Week 6 NFL picks. I know it's random. Wiley, why are you doing this starting in Week 6? But, you know, it's been sluggish going back and forth with filming and losing Josh, stuff like that. But I am back with my football stuff, and I'm using my hands in so many different new ways. So let's start off right off the bat. Denver going to San Diego. San Diego just finds new ways to lose. That's just how it goes. Okay, and you can feel bad for Phillip Rivers. You can feel bad for Kaser and anybody else on that team. They are the bad news bears, as Phillip Rivers said when they flubbed the field goal. And Denver's coming off a loss. I believe they're getting Trevor Siemian back, and they just looked better with him as a quarterback. Paxton Lynch did not look good against Atlanta last week. First loss of the season for Denver. They're kind of angry. I can see them going in and just demolishing San Diego. San Francisco at Buffalo. Interesting game simply because Kaepernick is going to be starting for the first time in the season, pretty much playing for the first time in the season, outside of maybe a little bit of play at the end of that Rams game. I'm going to go with Buffalo. I don't think Kaepernick can just light this team up. Buffalo's playing really well right now. Rex Ryan somehow figured it out. I don't know, by firing their offensive coordinator, things are going better than expected. I don't know. But 3-2 now on a 3-game winning streak. They're feeling hot. They're coming home. Tyrod's been looking good. Shady has been looking fantastic, like his old self. San Francisco just doesn't have enough for me to take it. I think Kaepernick will play okay. I don't think he'll play terrible, but mainly because of Chip Kelly. But I'm going to take Buffalo, despite that, at home. Jacksonville at Chicago. Now, I'm not getting the Homer hat, but I do have this blanket behind me. Go Jaguars. I'm not going to be a Homer necessarily. I'm just making these picks objectively, and I think Jacksonville's going to win. I think Jacksonville's primed for a good run if they can do it correctly. They just came off of a win and then a bye, so they're rested. They're ready to go. Chicago just looks bad for the most part. They just lost to Indianapolis. Brian Hoyer's been playing pretty well, considering. But I don't like Chicago as a whole. I don't think this is going to be a pretty game necessarily, but I believe Jacksonville can get away with a win and move to 2-3. Now, let's look at Cincinnati. Cincinnati goes to New England. Cincinnati has not looked good. They have not looked very good this year, except for a few bright moments here and there with A.J. Green. I chose them to be one of my Super Bowl teams. Not feeling great about that right now. I'm going to take New England. I think it'll be close because Cincinnati has a talented team. They just, I don't know, maybe they're just slow out of the gates. I don't know what the problem is. They're having trouble running the ball. I like in New England. I like the New England. Tom Brady is back. He's angry. He's very emotional after last week's game. He got a standing ovation, which, guys, come on, let's not give him a standing ovation. He beat the Browns, all right? It wasn't that amazing. Threw it to Martellus Bennett like 400 times. Big whoop. Now, let's move forward because I really don't care to dwell on that. Cleveland at Tennessee. This is one of my little surprise picks, okay? I'm taking Cleveland. I think this is going to be their first win. You look at their schedule, they should be 2-2. Or 2-3. Whatever it is. They should be 2-3, though. They should have beat Baltimore. They had a 20-point lead at home, and they should have beat Miami the week after because they had a field goal literally to win it, and Cody Parkey missed 3 field goals in that game, and then they lost in overtime. So you got to win those. Cody Kessler is expected to be back. He was limited in practice, and also McCown could be back as well. Either one of those guys. I actually like Cody Kessler. I think he's played pretty well this year. And I think Tennessee's young. They just came off a nice win. Mariota went crazy. And I think this is a perfect letdown game for a young team who's really high off a win. Maybe looking forward to bigger games. I like Cleveland to get that first W of the season. Moving forward, Los Angeles versus Detroit. Los Angeles, I don't know what the heck they are. I don't know how to read them at all. You know, they've got Case Keenum at the quarterback. Can we trust him? No, probably not. Todd Gurley hasn't looked great. Their defense has been good at times, and at other times they look terrible. So I don't know what to buy from the LA Rams. I'm going to take Detroit. I like Matt Stafford. Their defense is better than people give them credit. The rushing game is a little bit of a problem, but Theo Riddick has looked good. Running game worries me, but I think it'll be ugly. I think Matt Stafford will find a way to win like he usually does, considering he plays for Detroit. For them, he's pretty good at pulling things out at the end and winning it. So I'm going to take Detroit. Pittsburgh versus Miami. I'm going Pittsburgh. No way Miami's going to win this. Miami is just terrible. They've looked bad. They shouldn't have a win. They should have lost to Cleveland. And Ben Roethlisberger, even though he's not going to be at home this week, has been on fire. And he's going to be just launching just missiles all over that field to Antonio Brown and Sammy Coates and anybody else who's willing to catch the ball for them. Carolina versus New Orleans. What happened to Carolina, guys? What happened? Was Josh Norman really that influential on that defense? I don't know. It's pretty surprising. I think we can all agree. Kind of shocking to see them fall like that. Not sure if Cam Newton's going to be playing for this game or not, but if he's not, yikes. Derek Anderson is horrible. For those people who are out there saying, you know what, Derek Anderson is he's a great backup quarterback. He's solid. They'll be fine. He's not good. He's not good at all. If you are a Cardinals fan, you know that. If you are a Browns fan, you know that. He has never been good. He has had maybe a decent game or two, but he's not any sort of answer for Carolina. He's not even a good Band-Aid until Cam Newton gets back. I'm taking New Orleans barely. Even with Derek Anderson, New Orleans is not good. I think we can agree they're not good, and they needed San Diego to just self-implode in order for them to get their first win. Now, it was a nice win. They got a bye. They have had time to get ready for Carolina. It's in New Orleans, but still scares me, though. I think Carolina could pull it out. I'm going to take New Orleans right now, but don't be surprised if Carolina wins this. Baltimore at New York, taking on the Giants. The Giants are bad. The Giants are just terrible. Can we say this? And you know what? It's not really. I mean, Eli Manning is horrible. He's just the worst. If you watch him, I mean, I talked about it with Jared the other day. A few years ago, he was breaking Johnny Unitas's all-time record of most fourth-quarter touchdowns in a season, and he looked great for the majority of that season. And I believe that's the year they won the Super Bowl. But now, I don't think he has that. I think he's just bad, and Odell is not happy. He's quote-unquote not having fun, and it's just an ugly scene. And I think Baltimore, as flawed as they are, I think they're good enough to win this game. They just fired Mark Trestman, so new offensive coordinator. They're looking to run the ball more. I think they just pound out New York, and I think the Boo Birds come out for the Giants, and they aren't happy over there. Philadelphia at Washington. I'm taking Philadelphia. Washington is. I think this will be a close game as well. Both these teams hate each other. Divisional rivals. That NFC East. Philadelphia coming off a close loss to Detroit, their first loss of the season, and Carson Wentz's first interception of his career. I don't think he's as good as people are making him out to be. In this league, what typically happens is people eventually figure you out. So people are going to figure him out, and he's going to have to decide how he goes on from there, if he can sustain the success and keep evolving and keep getting better, or if he stays in this state. Who knows what happens. But Philadelphia, very good so far this year. I'm taking Philly. Washington is just too uneven for me. I don't know what to get from them, especially their offense. I don't see, outside of Jordan Reed, who's been fantastic as long as he stays healthy. Kirk Cousins has regressed. I don't like Matt Jones as a running back. Deshaun Jackson doesn't look great. The defense is pretty good, but they can't carry that offense. I don't think they get a win here at home. Kansas City against Oakland. I'm taking Kansas City. People are down on Kansas City, I think, after that big shocking loss to Pittsburgh. I think they're worried that Kansas City's done. They're not. They're very talented. Jamal Charles is coming back. He leads. He's the all-time leader in current active players in yards per rush. So, if he's got even a glimmer of that, they're going to be fine. Alex Smith, as much as I malign him on the show, he is the rule, and he's just good enough. The defense is very good, has underperformed so far this year, but I think they'll get it on track. Justin Houston's coming back in November, so I think, and they have a soft schedule. And so I think they'll be fine. I picked them to win that division. Not sure about that right now, but I think they're going to take Oakland. Oakland has gotten so many close victories that I think this is the time that they drop one at home. Atlanta traveling to Seattle. Atlanta, wow, I think Atlanta right now might be the hottest team. Going to Denver and beating them on their field, despite the fact that Paxton Lynch was playing quarterback and didn't play very well, for them to just come in and beat the Broncos. They just beat them. It wasn't that close. The score might suggest that it was close, but it wasn't that close. It was pretty much a dominating win by Atlanta, and pretty impressive by all standards alone. So, despite that, they're going to Seattle, and to go to Denver and win there, and then have to go to Seattle and win there, that's a tough order for any team. I'm going to take Seattle coming off the bye, getting ready for Atlanta. I think Matt Ryan does not play so well. I don't think Julio Jones runs wild like he has this whole year. I think Seattle finds a way to shut him down. And, I think Russell Wilson has a big day. Dallas at Green Bay. Green Bay, somehow, I looked at the record, and I was like, how are they 3-1? They shouldn't be 3-1. They should have lost a few more times. At the very least, they should have lost to Jacksonville, and I'm still sour about that. I know, I'm sorry. I'm a Jaguars fan. Jaguars should have won that game. Green Bay has not looked good, though. They have not really looked good, or at least they haven't looked like they can complete a game. They seem to fall apart in every single game, it seems like. And they're playing against Dallas, who, you can think kind of revenge game from the playoffs a couple years ago. Dak Prescott still has yet to throw an interception. He turned the ball over for the first time, fumbled it in the last game, but he has yet to throw an interception, broke the record, or at least the rookie record for that. And, I tell you folks, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I tweeted this out last Sunday. If you want to know how important an offensive line is, go watch an Indianapolis Colts game and then go watch a Dallas Cowboys game. The difference is just immense. Andrew Luck is running around like a chicken with his head cut off, just running for his life. He's getting sacked all the time, getting hit. That's why he got injured last year. He's constantly in trouble. And then you look at Dallas, talk about just the ultimate foundation of an offense. That offensive line just plowing people, just knocking people over, just giving Ezekiel Elliott room to run through the countryside, just so much green in front of him. And, he's really dominating in fantasy, but it's because of that offensive line. And I think they run right through Green Bay. I don't think Green Bay wins this game. I think Aaron Rodgers has a pretty good game, but Dallas is just on a roll right now. The things they did to Cincinnati, just stomping them out, and the way Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott are playing, and the defense is playing well because they know exactly what they have. They have an offense that can just waste time. They come out, they don't have to play for a long time, and they're fresh, and they don't have to make big plays. They just got to play good, solid defense, and Rod Marinelli's got them playing great. I like Dallas. And hey, before we get off here, give Jason Garrett a little bit of credit. Can we give him credit finally? I know everybody just maligns him and always talks about how he's Jerry Jones' puppet or whatever. But Gary Kubiak was John Elway's puppet too, okay? And they just won a Super Bowl. So if we're giving Gary Kubiak some credit, I'm going to give some Jason Garrett credit. Whoa, I'm having trouble talking. Credit to Jason Garrett, though. He's done a great job so far. We'll see how far he can take him. And don't even talk about the Tony Romo, Dak Prescott issue. It's not even an issue right now because Tony's not even close to being back. Indianapolis at Houston for a Sunday night game. I can't stand both of these teams, and I think Indianapolis is terrible. If you've watched previous episodes, you know that I think Chuck Pagano is gone. I think he's on the hot seat for real. The win last week was scary and sketchy at best. Houston is not great either. I think Brock Osweiler is showing that he was overrated. But the Giant does have some nice weapons despite that. Will Fuller's been playing great. Will Fuller the fifth. Amazing. I've never seen a fifth generation player on the football field. But DeAndre Hopkins, obviously. Lamar Miller, where are you? I don't know where you are. Somebody needs to put an APB out for Lamar Miller. But I like Houston in this game. It's going to be an ugly game. I know I say that about a lot of these games, but you know, Houston, Indianapolis. Finally, Monday Night Football, New York Giants at Arizona. I like the Cardinals. Carson Palmer is back. The Jets just lost Eric Decker. I think Brandon Marshall has a crazy monster game because he has to. He's going to get thrown the ball like 30 times to him. Fitzpatrick's going to throw some picks. Cardinals will probably take one of them back for a touchdown. I think it's a big win for Arizona and another step on a pretty big role for the Cardinals moving forward. I think they're kind of waking up. I think the Palmer injury, the Rams loss, kind of maybe slapped a little sense in them. And I think they win big at home against the New York Giants. So there are my picks for Week 6. If you have comments, if you disagree, let me know. And don't just say you're wrong. Tell me why. I want to hear why you think I'm wrong. I like to talk. Give me some conversation. Don't just say I'm wrong, because that doesn't help anyone. And in case you're wondering, I am going to keep track of my picks moving forward. I have been making these picks on the ESPN Pigskin Pick'em. So for right now, I am 42 and 35 on my picks. So moving forward, I'll keep track of those and keep updating that on the show. But thanks for tuning in. I'm Wiley Lewis, and this has been the Fastbreak Kids Week 6 NFL Picks. We'll see you next time.